नमस्ते प्रणाम गीता ध्यानम् ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters. O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Shrimadbhagavadgita, the Vibhuti Yoga of the divine manifestations, Yoga of the God's glory in various things in this universe, how God has manifested, how the Lord has manifested in various things of the universe. And today we are coming to an end of this beautiful Vibhuti Yoga, where very mercifully, very compassionately, Lord Sri Krishna, our great friend, philosopher and guide, he has told us that where all we can look for the Lord in this creation. He has given those prominent examples. But before giving those prominent examples of the God's manifestation in things of this universe, things of this creation, he has told us categorically that I am there in all the beings, sarva bhutanam. I am the origin, I am the seed, I am the bija, I am the prabhava of all that is coming into existence, all that is existing, and then all that is going back. I am the origin, I am the seed, and I have filled each and every particle in this universe. I have filled each and every particle in this creation. There is nothing that is without me. Because there is no end to my manifestations. Sri Krishna says, there is no atha. There is no end to my manifestations. Wherever you look around, you will find me. As simple as that. Wherever you look around, you look right, left, up, down. You look to front, you look to back. Whatever you see, the animate, inanimate, moving, non-moving, everything is nothing but filled by me. Everything is nothing but me. Why only filled by me? Everything is nothing but me. And like he said, that whatever you see around, whatever glory, whatever power, whatever prosperity you see around, whatever that great preciousness you see around, is just a tiny speck of my splendor, my divine splendor. It is just an amsha. Just a small speck, just a small portion of my divine splendor. I have manifested myself through that tiniest portion of my splendor. You won't be able to tolerate to see me in my full splendor at all. You won't be able to bear that vision. You won't be able to even bear that thought of me as in my full splendor. And therefore, in the 41st Shloka that we read yesterday, that Sri Krishna said, Yadyat Vibhuti Matsattvam Srimadurjitameva va Tattad Devava Kachatvam Mama Tejoncha Sambhavam. Yadyat Vibhuti Mat Sattvam. Whatever that splendor that you see, the Srimad Urjitam, that prosperity, that glorious things, that glare, and that power that you see around in this creation. Tat eva avagaccha. Know that all those things that you see with prosperity, with the splendor, with the glory, with the power, prosperous, and the splendorous things that you see, the glorious things that you see, they are all those things. Tat tat eva avagaccha tvam. You know for sure all that is mama tejaha ansha sambhavam, is all because of a tiniest fraction of my second. You are able to, my splendor, my divine glory, that you are able to see because of that small portion which I have manifested through all these things. And then Sri Ramakrishna had told us that beautiful example that Brahman, when that Satchidananda Brahman takes form with attributes, it is like those small bubbles, those waves, the ripples, the bubbles, the froth, and all those things that we see when we look at that vast ocean. We see all those different things which are just the manifestations of that supreme ocean, that supreme Satchidananda, and the incarnations are also like that, Sri Ramakrishna says. Those are the tiny portions. We cannot bear the vision of the God in his full splendor. Why that happens, that we will see later in the next adhyaya that we are going to see. As of now, today, let us read the 42nd shloka of this Vibhuti Yoga, which is the last shloka of this 10th adhyaya. Atha bahunaitena jñātena tavārjuna viṣhṭabhyāham idaṁ kṛitsnam ekānśhena sthito jagat. Atva bahunaitena kim. Atva is or bahunaitena kim jñātena. Or what is the use of knowing all this? Kim jñātena etena bahu. What is the need to know all these diverse manifestations of mine? Because you won't be able to even think about it. They are so plenty, they are innumerable, they are vast. So there is no point in splitting your brain on that. There is no point in just thinking, oh, where all God is sitting, where all I can find God. Bahunetena kim jñātena tavārjuna viṣhṭabhyāham idaṁ kṛitsnam. Viṣhṭabhyam is supporting. Supporting what? Aham viṣhṭabhyam. Viṣhṭabhyam. I am supporting. What? This ekānśhena. All this splendor is, I am just supporting with one part of this world. This entire world that you see, the entire creation that you see, it stands supporting with just one fragment of mine, just one portion of mine, ekānśhena. It is not 100% what you are seeing. It is just 1%, one ansha. It is just ekānśhena sthito jagat. This entire creation, what you see, what you cannot see, what you perceive, what you cannot perceive, what you imagine, what you can't imagine, that part of the creation, all that mind-boggling creation is just supported by one fraction of my splendor, of my divinity. What need is there, O Arjuna, for this detailed knowledge? What you will do? You won't be able to bear that 100%, divine brilliance that I carry with me, Sri Krishna says. There is no need for you to get all this knowledge that I have given you. You just take part, you just partake of that little sentence that I have told you, that I have filled this entire creation. That is sufficient for you to know me. That is sufficient for you to meditate upon me. That is sufficient for you to reach me, to understand me, to realize me, and get that ultimate enlightenment that I am He. Get that ultimate enlightenment, that illumination of Soham Saha Aham. Then you will realize, the moment you get this understanding, the moment you get this realization that it is me which has filled each and every speck, each and every particle of this creation, you will get into that mode of realization of I am He and you will come to me. You don't need all the great knowledge. What is the use, Sri Krishna says? What will you do with it? You won't be able to, first of all, bear that complete knowledge of mine. You won't be able to have that detailed knowledge of mine. Bahunaitena jñātena. There is no need for all that diverse understanding of my manifestations. Because I stand supporting the whole universe with a single fragment of myself. Just think, whatever you are looking around is just one small tiny portion, is just a droplet in that ocean. What you are seeing is just a droplet, not even a drop full, just a droplet of the God splendor that you are seeing around yourself. So that is Sri Krishna's teaching to Arjuna. Don't go for hi-fi knowledge. Don't go for all those intricacies. Don't go for that intricate knowledge. What you will do? What is the need? There is no need at all, Sri Krishna says. Just know that I have filled this entire universe, each and every particle, each and every portion, each and everything in this universe is supported by my single fragment. That's it. My ekānśhena is supporting this entire creation. You don't need to do anything more on this. Now, an expert cannot display all his talents when tied into a gunny bag and made to run. When someone ties up a person in the gunny bag and makes that person to run, you know that sack race that we used to have during our childhood. Now, where even the smartest of the fellow, even the great learned person, if he is put in a sack and tied and asked to run, what can he do? He can't do anything. There is a limitation for that, isn't it? Though the Lord reveal himself in multi forms, these revelations are but partial, or just they are partial. A man may possess great knowledge about so many things in the world, but if he is tied up in a gunny bag and asked him to run, can he do it? No. Till the moment the jiva is bound in Maya, he cannot do anything. He cannot do. He has to first of all understand. He has to untie that burden. He has to get out of that gunny bag and then ask him to run. Then he will use all his talents, all his techniques to run to his greatest abilities. But with tied in the gunny bag, what can he do? Nothing. So get rid of that Maya. You don't need so much of a knowledge. All you need to is to be out of that gunny bag. Is to just untie your legs, your feet, and then you start running. All manifestations are in fact limitations. All the manifestations, all the incarnations for that matter, they come to teach us, but how little we learn from them. How little we learn from them. Buddha came, Rama came, Krishna came, Buddha came, Jesus came, Mahavir Jain came, Guru Nanak came. They all taught us. But how little we have learned from them. So even with the incarnations also there are limitations of not the removing the Maya completely. But of course, I mean, if the Maya is removed, the play of God is over, isn't it? That is also another way of thinking about it. If the veil of Maya is removed, then Lord's purpose of creating this Maya, this creation, putting us in the binding, that whole purpose is nullified then. Therefore, even the incarnations have limitations. The waves are mere insignificant aspects of the ocean. Even so, the infinite phenomenal expressions of Ishvara are all just negligible speck of his magnitude. The incarnations come and keep on teaching us. Till the time we are reading the gospel, we are all enthralled with the words of Sri Ramakrishna. The moment we put the gospel back, that's it. And like Sri Ramakrishna used to always tell, that the renunciation of householders is like that hot frying pan. You put water on that tawa, the hot tawa. What happens? Water just evaporates in no time. That is the kind of renunciation Sri Ramakrishna says the people in this age have. The little bit of touch of Maya and all that renunciation evaporates. It is like water droplet on that hot tawa. All the renunciation just vanishes into blue. And then that me and mine and all those the worldly attractions, the worldly temptations. And he used to give another example that our renunciation, our way of understanding the divinity is like that spring mattress. You sit on that mattress, it goes down. The moment you get up, the mattress is again, that spring bounces back. Our materialistic tendencies, our worldly entanglements, they are like that. Till the time we are under the control, we are under the impression of the teachings of the incarnations. We are very pious, we are very holy. But the moment we are out of those teachings, the moment we are out of the classroom, our behavior totally changes. We are like that spring mattress which again bounces back. It is no more, that with our weight, it is no more lying low. That spring just bounces back. So that is what happens even with the incarnation. So Sri Krishna says, therefore I don't get involved in manifesting my 100% of glory. Whatever you want to take. If you are lucky enough, if you are fortunate enough, you will get rid of that veil of Maya and get liberated. But till such time, you will behave like an ordinary soul. When this itself is unfathomable, what to speak of him as the unmanifest? We are not able to understand this, the manifested form of the Lord itself. How can we understand that unmanifest form? How can we manifest that Nirakara form, that Nirguna form, that Akshara form, that Advaita form? How can we even perceive? We won't just be able to perceive that. And therefore Sri Krishna says that I come with my limited exposure of my manifestation, of my divinity. In all these things I am there. Look around, look for me, and the moment you find me hidden in all these things, you will reach the ultimate goal. Then you don't need any incarnation to teach you. Then you don't need any guru to come and tell you how to lead the path of liberation, how to lead the path of illumination. There is no need of any external teachers then. You just understand, you just look around, you perceive me in everything that you are coming in contact with. Whether animate, whether inanimate, whether movable, whether unmovable, everything, each and every fraction of this universe is filled by me. You don't need to get into all that detailed knowledge at all, my dear Arjuna. That you just understand. This entire creation is supported by my single fraction. Just ekānśhena is, just ekānśhena is creating so much problem. Will you be able to perceive? Will you be able to manage if I come before you in all my 100% splendor, in all my 100% glory, in all my 100% divinity? You won't be able to do it. So just partake of the little that I have given you. Be happy and try to reach me. That is the only thing. Understand that it is I who have filled this entire. It is I who am supporting this entire creation. If you understand that, you don't need any vast amount of knowledge at all. You don't need all those detailed knowledge. So that is Sri Krishna's teaching to us, and Sri Ramakrishna has beautifully told us on this, that God is with form, God is without form, and God is also transcending the form and formless. So don't get into all those intricacies. Sri Krishna says you don't need all those intricate knowledges. Sri Ramakrishna says you don't need to know all those intricate affairs of God with form, without form, or transcending all the above forms. Because only God can know who He is. Only God can bear that 100% divine splendor of His. We are not capable of. So let us not get into that humdrum of jugglery of great philosophies and great treatises on what is God and what is not. Just be a simple child of the Lord and understand that it is the Lord which has filled each and every particle in this creation. That is the greatest knowledge. We don't need any big treatises. We don't need any huge, books or thesis or any kind of huge treatises for that matter. Just simple realization. Whatever we see around, whatever we see in this creation, each and every portion of this creation is filled with nothing but the Lord. So that is the Vibhuti Yoga and Sri Krishna. After explaining everything, how we can meditate upon him, now Sri Krishna says, just meditate on this one fact, that it is I who am supporting. Don't get into those intricacies. Don't get into those intricate knowledges. So that is the Vibhuti Yoga, that yoga of divine manifestation, the 10th Adhyaya that we have completed the reading. It is Shrimadbhagavadgitasupanishatsu Brahmavidyayaam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishhnarjunasamvade Vibhuti Yogo Naam Ashtamodhyayah. In the Upanishad of the Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge of Brahman, the Supreme, the science of yoga, and the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna. This is the 10th discourse designated as the yoga of divine manifestations. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishnarpanastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.